Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter Freedom Unite for iOS, where today we're taking on a G-Rank Chameleos, because we haven't fought one in G-Rank before. And I'm using my Narga hammer because while Chameleos does require dragon damage for certain breaks, it won't lose its ability to go invisible unless you both break its horn and cut its tail in this game. And considering I have no ability to cut the tail, I figure I don't really need to bother with going for the horn break either. It doesn't do anything for me. Alright, so where is this lizard? Okay, I found it. Yeah, that's right, it's gotta be doing something for a Sonic to work. Or I wish I knew the timing. There we go. I did bring the stuff to make 10 more Sonics, so it's not a huge deal that I just used 6. But it is important to have Sonics against Cammy, at least in this game, because that way you can make sure it stays visible for a while. And I am of the opinion that a visible Chameleos is a much more pleasant Chameleos. And we've angered it. Also, another reason I'm using this hammer instead of the Lao one is that purple sharp lets me not bounce off of parts that I otherwise would, because Cammy does have some parts where you need purple to not bounce. It's amazing how we can get stunned by stuff that does so little damage to us. It's actually a little refreshing to be able to just go for Cammy's chest instead of trying to snipe its face all the time, because yeah, ordinarily seriously, that little paw sweep. Ordinarily I'm trying to break the horn, but the thing is, Cammy carries its face up pretty darn high. And especially if it's a larger Cammy, I can't reach that face unless the Cammy actually brings it down. So being able to just go for its chest ain't so bad. Unfortunately, with it now being able to be invisible again, we gotta kind of try and feel around for it. Ow. Surprisingly, ow. Considering how little damage the tongue sweeps were doing, that charge kind of hurt. And it's out of rage. Okay. And now it's gonna stay visible for a while again, which is good. Ooh. Well done, cat. See, during paras, I can at least semi-reliably hit the face. But otherwise, it's just out of my reach. And I need to sharpen. Also, wow, it went back into rage pretty fast. But honestly, that's fine. While it is more active during rage, it also has music during rage. And Cammy's theme is really good, so I do not mind hearing it. I prefer it over the silence that is Kezu's theme, which plays while Cammy's invisible. Or rather, while Cammy's not raging. Why do I have cool drinks? Right, because I was fighting Teo in the last quest and I forgot to put them away. I really wish this jerk would stay visible longer. Well, that was an arm flinch. So we might get a knockdown from that left arm soon-ish. Eventually. I mean, if I keep doing this... Unfortunately, while it's raging, I don't think Sonics work. So... yeah. If it's invisible and there's music playing, there's not much I can do other than try and hit it. But such is life. Really? Where are you going, buddy? Well, the music stopped. And the cami moved. What a jerk. Well, it's in here somewhere. One hopes. Oh, there it is. Oh, you steal my steak. It could have picked a worse steak to steal. I think it's got to be visible while you Sonic. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Hooray, not a one of those hits was a bounce. I don't really mind having the rain sounds here. I like the sound of rain, but Cammy itself is being surprisingly quiet. And there's a flinch on the rear left leg. So that means either left leg getting flinched at this point will get us a knockdown. And he's angry again. And he's invisible again right when he angered. Great. Now seems as good a time as any to sharpen with him being way over there. I should paint him again. Whoa there, buddy. There we go. Don't want to lose this guy, especially not after he goes invisible. Oh. Darn that tongue. So yeah, thus far I haven't seen anything I recognize as new other than damage numbers. And I don't expect I will see anything I recognize as new, considering that Teo is the only one of the other two that I noticed anything new on, and it was only just something that was barely new. It was a minor change for something that it always had. Okay, supplies. Those are nice. I think I'm going to test whether or not a Sonic works while it's raging. Seems not. Though that could have been just improper timing. Seriously? Twice in a row? Come on. 3 times? Dang. Well, there should be like 4 Sonics in the item box. So it's not the biggest of deals. Oh, good. It's done raging. Yeah, I think it was mistimed during the rage. Analysis inconclusive. Pop, pop, pop. Nah. Not a fan of that poison. Really just not a fan of this monster in Gen 2. It's about as far from exciting as they could have made it. All of its moves are pretty slow. Spends half the fight completely invisible. It's just not a terribly interesting fight. And looks like I'm... okay, not stuck back there. If I could get a KO, that would be lovely, but it's seeming very unlikely at this point. Dang it. I like using flashes on camis because they tend to last for a little while, and also they make it easier to track the cami because you can see the stars. What is this cami even doing? Was it just kind of hanging out for a moment? I guess. Wow. He's really trying that claw. I guess it was because he was blind that he was just hanging out. Though it looks like he's looking straight at me. Because his head is meant to track the player. And I guess it still does that even when he's blind. Okay, where'd the lizard go? Okay, we're running away from... oh, that's where the lizard went. Let's not use a gourmet steak. I brought those for in case we get our stamina killed. Because that's something Cammy can do. Oh, look at you leaving again. Was that one trip, or did you have enough time to land and then decide to leave again? I'm thinking it was one trip. You better not be leaving again. Well, hey, rage is over. Seriously? Is this going to be the rest of the quest? Me trying to catch up to it and it leaving? This better not be the rest of the quest. I already have a low enough opinion of Cammy in this game. Just going to repaint it. Make sure that it stays painted. Dang it. That's a good attack for throwing a Sonic. Stays visible a good long while. Uh-oh. We're going to get tongued. But at least we finished sharpening first. Oh. I guess we were just out of the tongue range before I dodged. I'll take a knockdown. Would be nicer if I was able to actually hit the face with the golf swing, though. Ooh. But that was just a face flinch, not a KO. What I want is a KO. And it is a bad idea to stand in front of the chest, because that's exactly where that claw swipe goes. Even though I think the chest does take more damage than the rear legs, it's a lot safer to hang out by the back legs. Because then you don't get hit by the tongue or the claw. Unfortunately, then this thing goes invisible, and then you run into it, and then it leaves to go somewhere else again, and it's looking almost like I'm startling these moves out of it. That does a surprising amount of damage for just being next to the chest when it does a spit. Ooh, good job, Cat. Para number 2. Ooh, got all 3 hits there. That's always appreciated. Let's get some health. Oh, hi. Someone's out of rage. Give me a shot. Wow, way to be invisible while using that. Dang it. My thumb wasn't at the ready. Ah, but here's a nice timed visibility. Because it'll always do a little tongue flick after the 4th slap of the tail. Wait, what? You're supposed to stay invisible, or stay visible, rather. The opposite of invisible. Or are you leaving? And you just always go invisible when you... No? So why are you cheating on my Sonic? Do they just lose efficacy over the course of the quest? Could be. Dang it. Well, it's not like we don't have ways to figure out where this thing is. Though, admittedly, you kind of need to know where it is before you throw the flash. Otherwise the flash don't work. And also apparently you need it to just decide it wants to be flashed at any given point. And we definitely need purple sharp. Back legs are apparently not the greatest hit zone, considering we bounce with white. Thankfully, I'm not here to kill this thing. I'm just here to drive it off. Because otherwise, things like that would just eat up my time. As long as we do enough to drive it off, I don't care how much we really do. Ow. Ow. Well, I guess now we get to see what's in the supply box. So, what have we got? Okay, there are some Sonics. That's good to see. But I need to get rid of my garbage. Because who needs garbage when you could instead have Sonic Bombs? And also, let's plop our dragon treasure in there. And then we'll eat some rations. And our max potion, and then we'll have paintballs at the ready. So if we deal enough damage to cause it to flee, it'll start fleeing in less than 4 minutes, which is nice. Though we do have the full duration of this quest to get to that damage threshold where it would decide to flee. So it's not like we're super pressed to do enough damage in time for the 25-minute mark. It's the 50-minute mark that's the real kicker, though admittedly I would like to finish this sooner rather than later. Where are you going, Cammy? Down there. Okay. And suddenly the rain gets heavier. I do miss variable weather in Monster Hunter games. I feel like the series... Well, I feel like it adds a little bit of dynamism, which is nice. Dang it. There we go. Was really going for the face there, but didn't get it. I have no idea where I am, but I guess it doesn't really matter as long as I'm getting hits. Oh, hey, managed to land the golf swing. Always feels good when I do that. Jerk. Minute and a half until we figure out whether or not we've been doing enough damage. Admittedly, considering the durability of the hit zones we've been going for, I don't expect that we'll have done enough, but I don't know, maybe. I'm just not willing to take that bet if there's anything important on the line, is what I'm saying. Hi. Cat, you know what would be great? Another para. Preferably before this thing charges and kills me. Okay, good. It's not trying that. At least not at the moment. Really? You stole my cool drink while pulling your tongue back in? I mean, hey, I guess that's why I had cool drinks. So that Cammy could steal them instead of something important. And the rage is over. And we did do enough. Okay. Neat how I managed to check exactly when time was called. Also, what was the game trying to show us there at the end? Did Cammy go invisible when it took off? Is that what happened? Either way, we have now managed to drive off the trio in G rank. Oh, are you going that way then? So I'm able to have my camera locked onto it despite it being invisible, as evidenced by the lack of paintball. Why can I do that now instead of, like, during the quest? During the quest would be so much more pleasant. Also, do they really need to give us a whole minute just for this? Like, I get that every quest clear basically was, or unless it was a deliver an item at the box thing, was a minute before. I think it was 3U was the first one to make captures 20 seconds. But, like, come on, game. There's nothing to carve. You don't need the full minute. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this episode. Join us next time when we fight something that I don't know what it is yet, but it will be something. See you then, friends.